Sad to say. People are all icy on Team Liquid and stuff and in chat messaging and wondering like why a Protoss is replacing a Terran. Why not find another Terran? Guys, it has to do with the groups. If you finish third place in your group, you would obviously be the first person to replace the second place finisher in the group, and thus and vice versa. Or not vice versa, that wouldn't make any sense. Life was originally going to get replaced by Jadon because Jadon finished third in that group, and originally Bomber was, of course, playing, but he has actually been officially replaced by JOAP for the second match of the day versus Solar. He's the only one that's been replaced. Life had emailed me saying specifically he couldn't play, but I don't know if he just drank some Red Bull, gave him some energy, or if he's found some other alternative, but he's online, he's good to go. So without further ado, this is the big one. I'm Rifkin, joined this morning by Zombie Grub, and spawning here in the bottom left corner of the map. Thankfully, he is here, the Blue Zerg player from Startale, Life.
In the upper right. Ah, yes. Starting things off correctly. It's the Red Terran Supernova.
Yeah, it's always nice when it's about 5 a.m. and you can actually do left and right. That's always a bit of a fickle thing. But he's going to be starting this off kind of similar to what we saw yesterday.
You know, Wait, what?
Are we getting awkward this early on the cast? I was just saying, it's nice. It's always a nice feeling to get things right when it's early in the morning.
No, I'm saying Supernova is doing it right by doing a 2-racks.
Okay, okay.
What?
Sorry, I thought we were talking like literally left and right, like at top right corner of the map. That's what I thought you were talking about.
In the upper right, doing it correctly.
Okay, okay. So that confusion and awkwardness out of the way. Yes, it is a 2-rack. So yes, we did see this a lot yesterday on this map. In fact, I believe this is the one where he won because he went home and built that super barracks wall behind the potential Baneling counterbust versus poor TLO. I don't know how Life's going to get affected by this, though. I mean, I love TLO to death. We saw him handle it a little bit awkwardly. This is a situation where maybe normally Life holds this off and it's not a problem whatsoever. But once again, he's actually just finished up a large Red Bull event over in Korea today. And Overlord sees an SCV, and he does see the bunker, too. Oh, that is such unfortunate placement.
Wow.
It's like one grid in range.
Yeah. I mean, he might have pulled the Overlord back a little bit anyways, even if the bunker was not originally in range. So, it's just, you know, some other Zergs, they will send that second Overlord across the map.
I just realized he brought a third SCV really early.
Nope.
Yeah, that drone's gonna get away.
Oh, yeah.
This is
I think he's
important,
always
though.
done this. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you see a lot of Terrans just stick with the original 2, and maybe they'll pull an additional 3 later on, but this is a big deal, guys, because without that third SCV, he absolutely would not have completed the bunker. So it actually gets this up. 2 more Marines joining the fight. Another bunker coming down.
No drones have actually been killed so far, which is so funny. Life with some really good control.
Yeah.
But even though that said, he's still apparently not going to be able to keep this natural. I mean, the bunkers are going to finish. The spine crawler will finish, so like maybe with one spine crawler though. I don't know.
Yeah, this is a bit of an odd spot to be in. I mean, I feel like even if the one spine crawler completes, the problem is it doesn't have the killing power for 3 bunkers.
Yeah.
Right? Like it could kill 1 bunker easily, but 3's a whole nother can of worms. As we see, the hatchery still getting chipped away at here. Spine crawler was actually originally in range. He actually pops out of the bunker with some smooth moves. Spine crawlers don't have a lot of health, guys.
So these are Lings. It's already down to half health though, and he can't actually target this down with no transfusion. He just could wait for a few more Marines, and well, he can get the hatchery and probably the spine crawler too.
Yeah, you know, one of the big comfort things here too, guys, is that this is on the Korean server. Like, this isn't like yesterday where you had to play at North America for both TLO versus Supernova, but indeed both players coming from Korea. So gets the hatchery, gets the spine crawler. This first bunker might go down, but as we said, there's more behind it. Oh, nice block on those Marines though.
Oh, they just jump back into the other bunker. They do end up dying, and these are slow Lings that are taking out a lot of Supernova stuff. I mean, he's still rallying Marines to this bunker, but it should hold.
He doesn't have a wall off back at home.
Well, he will have a wall
Well, he's got to start now, so the Lynx can, if it's a barracks or command center, the Lynx chip through it, right? Okay.
His Marines are not going to be able to get back unless Life made the mistake of like looking for the rocks.
He could segment 1. Oh, I thought he was going to do that for a second. I was going to say, like, he could segment 1 away and maybe by himself that time, but speed finishes and there's just no way to beat that home. Now he has to repair until he can build some Marines. Luckily for Supernova, guys, there is no Baneling nest behind this. There is no bust potential. Lings will never break through SCVs. They can repair for days. Supernova is preparing for a potential Baneling bust, but it's not coming. He does need to pull 2 more SCVs, though.
4 more actually.
I don't know if he gets the full 4 because he's got that micro gun.
Actually, you're right. Well, it would take a really long time. One SCV is slowly, very slowly not out repairing the Ling DPS, but it's so slow, I don't think it matters.
Yeah. All right, so 2, 3 over here. I mean, this is a bit messy, but here come the Marines. He'll be able to drive this back. Supernova, I don't know. Did he get his money's worth out of this attack? Both players suffered pretty heavily. He didn't get a lot of salvages off on the bunkers. I mean, he killed the Hedgery and the Spine. That's always good. But Life just double expands behind this.
Yeah, I like this move by Life. I mean, Supernova has no, in fact, Life even confirmed that Supernova didn't have a follow-up with, still on one base. He didn't put the factory down. There is a command center on the way, so there's no way that Supernova has anything that would really harm Life. And, on the reverse side of that, Supernova doesn't have anything that harms Life yet. I think that's a big problem for him. He's not going to be able to take his natural until he has those Hellions. As he's not really looking to produce any more Marines. I mean, 4 Marines can't go down that ramp.
Yeah, that's actually a big problem. That's why we do see the factory in the way. Once he gets Hellions out, maybe he can potentially clean this up a little bit easier. But, of course, for Supernova, guys, you gotta understand, we talked a little bit about this yesterday. Well, it did not work for TLO in this instance. It is the typical response. You don't see a lot of players try and macro out of this because the typical response, especially when you get cheesed, is to go for that counter all in, to go for a big attack. And somebody's definitely lagging. I hope that's not me.
I hope it's not me.
I'm just seeing
Let
some...
me pick you guys.
Yeah, no spikes on my end. Oh, 60, oh, 55 FPS, whatever. Yo, I'm rocking it. But yeah, so with the Hellions coming out, you can't send just 2 down. Even with good control coming up the ramp, this is a lot of speedlings. He's going to probably have to wait till he's safely got at least 4 before he can go in.
Yeah, and maybe even bring the Marines down with them. Because the thing is, if they get trapped trying to go back up the ramp, the Lings would do so much damage to them, and you don't really want any damage to the Hellions, honestly. Because not only are they the way to get down the ramp, they're also still going to be used for what they're always used for, which is map control and attacking, Life's Third, kind of a normal game. You don't want to come out with injured Hellions automatically.
So here's also, we're talking a lot about what like Life did, knocking over the counterbailing on lane and taking a 3rd base. But one weird, not weird, but odd thing out of Supernova is, oftentimes in this scenario, you'll actually see that 3rd CC come down much quicker to make up for the SCVs you technically lost, quote unquote, by going for that T-Rex opener. So instead of opting to go for the Banshee, you're right, he is going to be trying to get that map control. He's going to try and get aggressive. I don't know if this will be that, I guess, standard that works.
I definitely prefer it over the 3rd CC, only because you have no idea what the Zerg is doing. You've completely given up scouting by going for this T-Rex, immediately.
That's true, yeah.
No Reaper, of course. So the Banshee not only is going to help see, 3rd and natural, but it actually can scout. If you're I don't know what he's doing, you can send it into the main, cloak it up, and get out and get the scout.
Well, it takes the Watchtowers for now. Decent start. This will keep him from seeing the Banshee. The one nice thing, though, for Life is he does have a couple Queens. Downside, no detection. Layers on the way. Overseers won't be easy. They'll have to start building a Spore Crawler.
Supernova could probably get a lot of drone kills, but he'll probably go for the Queen kills.
Yeah, there's a lot of instances where you can't really... if you were to blindly run in, you get kills, but you don't know that. It comes back down to all the scouting, lack of information, etc.
Oh, Cloak is about to finish. You can definitely take up both of these Queens now. There you go.
Yeah, well, one of the Spore Crawlers almost finished. She might... Oh, yeah, she will get both. Okay.
Yep.
Not sure if he was gonna go for the dive. Yeah, I mean, it's the question of does he know how close that is to finishing? But...
Oh, that Spore Crawler. Not helpful.
He has range for the Queen, though. Oh, not over here, though. Just barely out of range. I try to bait him into
targeting.
it.
Oh, miscontrol, miscontrol.
Oh, it's because he's busy kiting on the other side of the field. Gets a hell of a lot of Lings. Finds a good choke.
So many Marines,
though.
I mean, Hellions and Marines.
Actually, for a moment there, you look at the barracks lift and you're like, oh god, why would you let the Lings into your base? But as we saw, guys, it created this really nice choke where barbecue. There's a barbecue pit.
Yeah. Now, Life did see that Supernova had 2 more Hellions than normal. And I think everyone knows that Supernova is a mech player, and while 2 more doesn't necessarily tell you that, it is sometimes an indication. So Morphing in an Overseer right now going to confirm whether it is or is not mech, and we'll see that, oh yes, indeed it is. And he did get an emergency Roachborn, so he'll be able to transfer into that.
Did Supernova? Okay, I was gonna say, that changeling was so obvious. There's no way, let's that stay there. But another Banshee gets scouted by the Overseer. The Spire's on the way. I think the Banshees, they've got their place in the game, but at this point it's not going to be for harass. Sometimes you'll see that late game Banshee surprisingly kill a bunch of drones.
Whoa!
But yeah, this Hellbat push is actually be quite scary. Roaches are on the way. I don't even know if this amount of Roaches is going to deal with this amount of Hellbats.
Well,
We'll get some drone kills, that's for sure. Tries to chase
Yeah.
down the queen.
A lot of them are coming from the third, though.
Well, here's what's so scary. Actually, I like the move to run, because we're seeing it with Hellbats fairly easily. But the... Oh, don't chase in the back. The Spire is going to be so far out. Roaches get surrounded upon. Splash damage is good.
Oh, Jesus. Well, yeah, that was actually the real problem, is that they're all coming out of the third.
He sees them sitting there.
Dude, if Supernova had just morphed in, like, 4 back into Hellions, he would have gotten all those running away drones.
Yeah, for sure. Tries to go back, a little bit greedy. He's not going to get that blast he needs. It's not Blue Flame. If it was, that would have been devastating.
It was a pretty good blast. I think even one more wouldn't quite cut it, but...
I think the downside, though, is he didn't see the 4th behind this. It does go to the name of the Banshee.
He could have assumed that that's where the drones were headed when they were split.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, at that point, you're thinking, okay, he's just running for me. I'm all powerful. I've got Hellbats. For Supernova, the reason this becomes a little bit problematic, guys, is because he does have a 3rd CC, but there's no way he's securing a 3rd base. He's opted to go for mech in this game, and he doesn't have enough to control defense. I mean, the Thors are great for the mutas. These mutas are going to find a very nice surprise waiting for them, but, I mean, mech off the back end of a 2-Rax, even when you're ahead, can sometimes not work so well.
Good turret placement, covering the gas geysers. On this map, that's usually the first thing to go down.
Get some shots off here. I do worry a little bit, though. I mean, this isn't the danger of magic boxing, but Supernova's pushing out, and there's, you never know. Are roaches waiting at the bottom of the ramp? Are there lings over here? Well, I guess not lings, Hellbats, but still. A little bit scary to always chase with Thors blindly. He does secure his own 3rd, though. This is really important for those who have never played mech, or maybe you haven't seen that many mech-related games. In StarCraft 2, if you play mech as a Terran player, it's not so much about the minerals as it is about the 5th and the 6th gas geysers. If you don't have these, there's no way you operate in the late game. Period.
Yeah, it is very important, but Supernova, I don't think he's actually going to be able to hold this roach push. He's down by 80 supply, and none of it's in tanks.
Yeah, and we're going to see that come into full effect here. Raven trying to choose what it wants to use its energy on. Goes for point defense throw, not a terrible move.
That actually really helps. The Banshees are actually providing what the tanks would have done.
This one Hellbat, like the full surround of SCVs. Now they can, of course, start repairing the Thor and the Roaches while they're doing work. This tank comes down. Supernova doesn't have anything really here to hold but a couple of Banshees. I mean, this is so many Roaches. Normally you're like, okay, Banshees will clean it up, no problem, but the SCVs were pulled. The Thors are actually barely going to hold here, but here comes some Lings, and the Hellbats have sadly disappeared. You know what? I don't know about that point defense drone, because I kind of think if he had secured the mutas, they may have driven them off. I mean, it got him kills, so that's always good. You can't argue against that, but still, as we see, he doesn't have a whole lot to fight with. Spam repairing these Thors. Oh my god, Supernova.
Yeah, it just means that he's
25 kills, finally starting to go down.
Well, he's not mining from it a lot. Like, his naturals are mining, his 3rd is barely mining. All the SCVs, well, they do attack.
24
I mean, he's at 42, like, and Life, that was his army. Like, he didn't have a huge bank behind that because that was so fast in relation to how this game went. So, like, an instant remax did not happen. That's Supernova's, like, gift right now.
But Life's taking the gold. Might not have money right now, but he will very soon.
Yeah, he will. Supernova's got to hope that he can get up to, like, a really solid count of, like, 160 or hopefully even max before the next big engagement goes down. Because that's how he's going to, finally get that bank.
I really like the choice of reinvesting the mutas, too. Oftentimes, if you lose that first 8, you're like, okay, not going to work. He's got Thors.
Italians.
Well, what I was going to say is the mutas, their mobility is actually going to lend a huge aid here, because those Thors can't bounce back and forth between the main and the natural, much less the 3rd.
Yeah. Oh, wow, just GG's.
I don't know if that's GG worthy, but yeah, it was like a small amount of mutas to... I think the missile turrets could have held that, quite frankly.
And the 2 Thors were actually about to pop out at the factory.
I don't think it was the mutas that ended the game, though. I think that was him realizing like, he was just getting beaten back over and over. Like, he didn't know it was 88 supplied 180, but you get that feeling as a Terran player, you know?
Yeah.
Sure. If you could I get you to lower your camera a bit, by the way? Your forehead's pretty and all, but...